I'm back with the GreenMachine, and I wanted to do a video today on the most common upgrade people will do to these single-cylinder engines in their mini bikes. The high-flow header, high-flow intake, and of course, most importantly, the jet change that goes with it for the carburetor. Now, everything I got today that I'm going to put on, I got from ProMod, or as a lot of people know, Hot Rod Mini Bikes. The header I got is a simple mandrel bent header that's going to actually exit right through the hoop. Now, I wanted to go over this in a little more detail because it's actually a quality piece. If you can see the welds, and I'm trying to focus, the welds are actually TIG welded, and on the inside, because they're taking a tube, a round tube, and welding it to a D-shaped flange, they actually, again, I'm trying to focus. All I have now is a camera phone, so bear with me. They ground out the imperfections inside the tube so there wouldn't be any airflow restriction going in. Now, it's a fairly simple bolt-on part. What I am going to do for the gasket, though, this is the gasket, and on what I did notice, this little lip all around the top half is going to be a small restriction. It could definitely benefit from a gasket match. Probably won't make too much of a difference right now, but when I get into more modifications later, I'll be gasket matching that and just trimming off the top. But I'm going to take some nickel anti-seize and I'm going to lightly coat the front and the back of that gasket because I know I'm going to be taking this header on and off as I do more modifications. You guys don't need nickel. I actually bought nickel because I have a turbocharged Honda, so I'm seeing a little higher temps than a normally aspirated engine. Feel free to get the copper, it's cheaper. Okay, on to the carburetor. Now, I apologize for not being able to show people step by step. I have to hold a camera. I don't have a tripod yet, but hopefully in the future videos things will progressively get better as I learn the tricks of the trade. The jet change is pretty straightforward as well. Take the float off, or I'm sorry, the float bowl, and take the float off by simply pulling the pin out with needle nose pliers. And when you do, just make sure that little needle valve doesn't get lost or come out of place. There's a little spring in there, if you can see. The jet screws out. The carburetor jets, and this is another poor video of this, it's slotted, so all you have to do is get a screwdriver that will fit into this hole and unscrew it. Now, the emulsion tube is in the middle. If you can see that little thing that sticks out, protrudes in the middle, that's the top of the emulsion tube. What I have to do, simply give it a little tap and it falls right out. Now, I have the new emulsion tube right here, and it's different in the following way. And again, I apologize if you can't see this very well, so I'll just tell you. This emulsion tube is from the stock Predator 212. There's holes that go in this shaft, and what that does is it's part of the air bleed circuit. So under higher vacuum conditions such as part throttle, it's going to introduce more air into the circuit. So when the fuel is getting sucked up through the jet, into the carburetor, under higher vacuum, there's going to be more air in there. So with the kit from ProMod, it gives you a different emulsion tube with fewer holes, and the holes that are here are smaller. So what that's going to do is it's going to richen up the mixture under part throttle conditions when the vacuum is higher. Simply because now when air tries to go through here, when the vacuum is high, it's going to have a more difficult time. So more fuel is going to go through, less air is going to go through.